find out in this episode is that Captain Jack is not Captain Jack.
This is just a beautiful little romance.
Second World War, the eve of a group of men going to their death.
A captain needs to explain the risks, tell his men what to expect.
It's kind of dreamy and romantic and really sad.
What are you trying to say? This is the story of two star-crossed lovers.
Smile softly.
Listen, don't worry. You're with the captain.
The great thing about Captain Jack is every time you think you're learning something more about him, actually you realise you know a little less.
I'm lost enough here without you holding back on me.
So just when you think you know his name is Captain Jack Harkness, actually he then meets the real Captain Jack Harkness.
I'm Captain Jack Harkness, 133rd Squadron.
You realise that, in fact, that's not his name. So actually we end this episode having gone on this huge journey with this character, actually not even knowing what his real name is. We don't know what his real name is. We may never find out.
I think we learn a little bit more about his loneliness.
Is Toshiko your woman?
No. There's no one.
You know, the cost of being out of time, I guess. You get a sense of his restlessness and his need for love.
You see a slightly passive side to him in this.
Tosh certainly finds out a lot more about Jack.
Who were you?
A con man.
It really is an eye-opener for her, I think, to see Jack vulnerable, to see Jack on a very sort of human level, on an emotional level.
There's a very dark streak in Captain Jack of Torchwood. And he only lets you in a little bit. Very rarely does he give away much.
I know too much.
Then share.
You wouldn't want that. Trust me.
He's got a nobility. He's got a sort of. He's got more strength as the leader of Torchwood. He's a good man. What we're seeing is a con man who became a very good man.
The look and feel for this episode was a 1940s romantic drama.
Action!
I think the design team and Ashley, who directed it, and all the actors, I mean, once you sort of got everybody wearing those 1940s dresses and the hair and the makeup and the uniforms, you know, everyone who walked into that set when they were doing 1940s stuff just, you know, took a step back and a gasp. It just looks beautiful.
The dance hall looked fantastic, you know. I think everyone did a fantastic job. The art department, the costume and makeup department, lighting, everyone, you know, and they really did bring together the glamour of that period.
In the 40s, a lot of people imagine, you know, sort of hard hair and that sort of thing, but we wanted to have it much more sexy, much more younger looking.
It was very important that the environment was very rich, very colourful, very plush and just very romantic, with the chandeliers and the velvets and the flags, and just the sense that everybody was actually having a good time.
From what was a rather shabby nightclub before that, they transformed it, really. It was amazing.
And action.
We should get out.
The different dynamics between the two periods, you know, you have 1941, which is a very glamorous era, and we try to keep the camera flowing smoothly, evoking that sort of the classic, you know, cinema of that time.
They're not ghosts. It's a simple temporal shift. And it's beautiful.
In 2006, with the battling between Yanto and Owen, that was much more energetic. So we had different dynamic totally there, and I thought that was a very interesting thing to try and capture, you know, the real difference between the two.
Let the dancing continue!
So we're going to go walk, walk, and then side, side together. Make sure you change weight. Okay. Because you're supposed to be able to do this really well, aren't you? Basically, we're trying to teach them a very simple version of foxtrot. With a few little turns and twists in it to make it interesting. The man's hand is up here, the lady's hand is up on his shoulder a little bit, so it was quite a close, compact hold. That's it. No. And you need to put your feet together, Gavin.
Too close, sorry.
That's it. Okay. Just need to develop it a little bit now so that we have got a very nice Air Force pilot who looks the part and is sort of contending with somebody who obviously can't dance very well.
It was a bit daunting, wasn't it, at first when we changed it?
Yeah, we put in a lot more swirly, twirly bits.
We needed it to go faster. Well, you needed to be thrown around a bit, and the original thing that we rehearsed on Friday, when we actually rehearsed it, it was slow. So we come in this morning, first thing was up here, changing it around. It was all rush, which was exciting, but also I think it helped. It's a big moment, and it's a big scene, and I think there's always, and certainly with time and scheduling and stuff, I think it's always very nice to get them things complete. But it was quite good fun doing it.
I want to dance more now.
I might have to leave before the night is over.
Well, then make the most of now.
I was the person who said from the starting point was like, who was the one man Captain Jack is going to fall in love with? And that's himself. It's like, it's a Captain Jack Harkness, which I think is a great gag.
Something extraordinary about Captain Jack of Torchwood. There's something otherworldly, enigmatic, mysterious. And I think the real Captain Jack is taken by this.
Captain Jack Harkness is really the hero that this Captain Jack would love to emulate himself to be.
The kiss. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. I cried every time I was watching it. It's ridiculous how much I cried.
I love the fact that it's the original Jack who instigates it. I think that's very brave. And it's quite nice to see our Jack being passive, really. And so it's lovely to see him almost boyishly being led to the dance floor. But then when they dance, I have the feeling that he's nurturing and holding the other Captain Jack. So they've constantly got this shift of, not power, but looking after each other.
That was one of the most amazing and beautiful and magical scenes I've ever seen.
Choreographing the kiss, you obviously have to practice it, but during rehearsals I kept saying to Matt, let's not do it. Let's just wait. Let's wait, because you want that spontaneity.
We approached it with a confidence that whatever happened would be what happened. We didn't think about it. We didn't rehearse it. We didn't talk about it. We didn't ask about where we were going to. Do you come in this way? Do you come in that way? We just thought we'd let it happen.
Matt completely rose to the occasion and did a superb job. And it was great because I watched him and I tried to see what things I would bring into Jack from him.
You know, it's not just a kiss, a sexual thing. It's so not about that. It's about two people kind of connecting.
It's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, and it's lovely. And actually, you know, it should really, it should really leave people weeping by the end.
Well, the passing of Pauline Problems continues in EastEnders next on BBC 3.